One time he locked me in containers with his shipment of kids. There were kids in there that didn't speak English. There were kids that were sick and that were already dying. There were babies. There were babies that were 6 years old, and I'll never forget them just crying, and everybody was just staring at them. Everybody was just staring at each other. Nobody knew whether or not to move. I was freaked out. And I got up and I held her. And they opened the truck and they took her from me. Because they said she was already sick. And they killed her. Her name was Bailey. There are kids in there from Africa, from Mexico. We got to this spot right over the border. They went past these colorful houses. They turned down these dirt roads, and there was a bunch of trucks. And they divvied everybody out like fucking retail. One person, she wouldn't stop crying, so they said that they would just send her off to somebody who was already sick, that had AIDS, that was gonna die soon, because she wouldn't shut up. My pimp smiled at me that whole time because I had straightened up my attitude. I begged for him to take me back. I begged for him to keep me. And I promised that I wouldn't tell the social workers again. I promised that I wouldn't say anything if he just took me with him. If I could go home. And he did. Me still being stupid, I tried to tell my social workers. I tried to tell them my boyfriend is 27 years old. He takes me to elite parties. He takes me to these things that I don't want to go to. And can you please help me? And they just documented him as a boyfriend. My social worker told me that maybe I needed to just talk to him. Maybe if I just did something right, or if not, just break up with him, that it would be okay. Eventually, after going to elite orgies in Simi Valley, California, escort services, we got married. He proposed to me on a boat one night. And I was so angry because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to deal with that. I was 15 years old, and I knew my adopted mom now. I knew her, and I was telling her I have a husband. And I didn't know what that meant. I just knew that he's not going to kill me. So I'm married. And I was okay with that. I'm Allie. I'm 21 years old. I'm the logical one, I think. I think I'm the more kind of mothering one out of us. And I think people kind of pick up on that sometimes. Like I'm more of the serious, I don't have my glasses on because I can't see anything right now, but I'm more of the glass wearing type of let's keep shit together type of thing. I like to crochet. And I like to read. And I deal with everybody's problems. Yeah. Hi. That was weird. I'm Taya. I'm 12. I'm mom's favorite. I'm just kidding. I'm I don't know, I'm like as a choreographer, I'm the one who teaches ballet, jazz, kind of the softer stuff. And I'm girly. I'm girly. I like to dance. I like to write. I like to paint my nails. Don't look at them now. Duh. But I don't know. That's me. I'm Leilani. I'm 14. I was up a lot in the beginning when we first met Mom. I was the caretaker before, but I'm not anymore, thank God. And I don't know, I like to cook, and we used to go for a drive a lot, just to chill and relax. But yeah, I was on the level first, and before everything changed with the structure and the system. But which is why our name's Allison Leilani, because I was up first before the adoption, around the time of the adoption. I don't know, it just changed, and I just thank God I'm not the caretaker anymore. But yeah, that's me.
Okay. I'm Teller, and I'm 10, and I like to paint rocks. We found rocks. I get to paint. But I want a small one. I want a small one. And I made this rock, and it's an M&M. And I put eyeshadow on her because I like when they're sparkly. And I like to paint, and I like to do crafts. And I did more rocks. I have these two. And I paint them, and then I just put them outside. There's an Etsy shop where people sell rocks for a lot of money, but I don't sell them. Just so we're clear. That's me. There is an Etsy shop though. Yeah. And they're like $30. They're like $30, $40 rocks. But I make them for free. That's it.
I'm Maddie. I'm 23. I'm the one that y'all met first. with the Bonnet video.
If you're not new to my Instagram, you have seen me post up something about trafficking and snatch that shit down in the same second because I was too scared to say something. Now I'm just hot. That 14-year-old girl is me. You wanna ask me? Anybody wanna ask me? Nobody wanna ask, huh? Everybody just wanna judge? Nobody took a damn second to say, who's the 14-year-old girl? It's me.
As a choreographer, I'm the hip hop choreographer. We all do different things, but I'm a hip hop choreographer. I don't know, I just like to go with the flow type of thing. People say that I'm the aggressive one on Instagram and stuff. I'm not aggressive, I just don't put up with people's bullshit well. That's just me. And some people need to be told that they need to get their shit together. So I don't mind doing it. So that's me. That's me.
Hi, I'm Sky. I'm 16 and I like to cook. And I know what to tell you. When we did the princess jobs, I was Princess Tiana. That was me. And did I say I like to cook? I like to cook. That's what I really like to do. That's it, really, pretty much. Because, you know, everybody does. We all do things. But I like to go. And I like to talk to people. And everybody tells me, oh, you can't talk to people because I sound funny. And I don't care no more because we just talking to the whole world now. So, that's pretty much it.
I'm Riley. I'm 15. I'm a girl, but I'm not girly. I am completely opposite from a lot of us that you'll meet, but we all have very unique and different things that we do. I like to fish, hunt, lift. Not so girly. I'm not a dancer. I'm a ball player. I don't come up that much. Well, I do, but only when there's like things to be done. Because everybody else be doing too much. So, that's me. Keith. So I wasn't telling her what was going on. I was trying to test the waters to see where she was at because there's so many people that turn for money or turn for the right amount of information or because they're scared. So I didn't know what to tell her. So I was always testing her when I started noticing that she cared. She genuinely just cared. So then I started wearing my wedding rings around her. I started letting her in and telling her about the bruises. I started letting her know about, you know, I have jobs or I serve my country. Because I didn't know how to just outright tell her what was going on and put her in danger too. So I just kept saying I'm married, and
She showed up with a very expensive engagement ring. So I asked her to let me see it. I smashed it.
She smashed it.
Kids don't marry adult men. That's just not. That doesn't know.
I was like, oh my God, this woman.
But I didn't know that got her in trouble, and she
Yeah.
didn't say anything at the time. That got her
Big
in trouble with
trouble.
her pimp. There was just so much The fact that she was saying that she served her country or she was serving her country, I didn't even know what that meant, so I had to start researching and listen more closely to the things that she was saying. But yeah, she had military level MK Ultra programming. They traffic off the military bases. They traffic to military personnel, high level military. She was flown off the military bases. She was flown on the stealth bomber by the pimp that was handling her, Keith. He was starting to get elite jobs and taking her to elite places, which I didn't know at the time. While she was in CPS care, a lot of things can go on in a very short period of time with MK Ultra programming, with trafficking. They can do a lot of damage in a very short amount of time.
There were some homes where I wasn't even there that long. There was a family that I was dating the son that was just coming up to be at the continuation school to hang out. He didn't even go to the school. He had already graduated. And then he introduced me to his mother and father, who were swingers, and into so many crazy things. And eventually I was their son's girlfriend, and then they're engaged to be their wife as well. There's just so many different situations. There's not a way to just spit this all out on a camera. This is, it's not easy to just get here and do this. A lot of people see us in our sweats and, in our car, and there's lights and there's cameras and, we put on makeup, we put on real clothes, found real clothes in our storage, and we're trying to tell you the truth. I hope you look past that and you can see that after all this time, after everything that we've been through, we've tried to pricelessly show you the truth. There's no benefit of ours. There's no gain. We don't need notoriety, fame, a media cookie, a pat on the back for surviving and doing what just needed to be done.
I will continue to take care of Allie. This has never been about Allie. This is about letting you guys know that we're in a war, and most of you don't know about it. You don't know what it looks like. You don't even know that it exists. There are millions of kids, little kids, that are being trafficked, that are being sold for organ harvesting, that are being tortured in ways you can't even fathom. We owe them to stand for them and to fight for them and to educate ourselves so we can do the right thing. This is not about Allie. This is not about the other survivors. This is about the children that are still stuck in slavery in the United States, across the globe, but in the United States. Most of you guys don't even know that something like that would happen here. But now you do know, and you have to move. You have to stand.
Your organizations are going out of state, out of the country to handle a situation that they won't touch in their own backyards. What sense does that make? What sense does that make? Do you know how many millions of children and victims, survivors are here in the United States of America, but we have people that are headed out of country and asking you to give them money to go out of their own backyards? It doesn't make any sense.
A lot of you might want to dismiss this because you think it's political, you think it's red side or blue side. These are crimes against humanity. They don't have a red side or a blue side. They don't have a color. They don't have a nationality. Children are being trafficked across our southern borders. Allie was trafficked across our southern borders. Allie went on drops across our southern borders. If you hear this information and you just dismiss it because you think it's political, you've done a great disservice and you're part of the problem. There's so many layers when you're dealing with a survivor of MK Ultra, almost like an onion. There's just layer upon layer upon layer of things. The common misconception is that Once you remove them from trafficking or whatever situation they're in, and you put them in a good place and you put them in a good home, that everything is okay, and that's not the case at all. If anything, life gets harder and life gets more intense and worse for them. We have dealt with gang stalking. When Allie first came, it took me a while to realize that on ritual nights or on different times, there was callback programming. That looks like sometimes the phone would ring, her phone would ring. If she would answer it, it would be a series of tones. It can look like somebody sitting across the street from our home and honking their horn a certain sequence of times. It can look in a lot of variety of ways, but it would trigger her programming and she would try to leave the house. She was trying to get to cult rituals. Sometimes she would just go down. When I say go down, she would drop where she stood. If she hit her head on the ground, she didn't try to break her fall. It was just like everything just stopped and she just would drop. She would sometimes go into a trance. She would not know where she was. There was just so many things, just layers upon layers of things that go on for survivors. When she first came, I would normally, with my other kids, I would take them to do normal things. We would go to the beach, we would go on a picnic, we would go to Disneyland, we would do normal things. But when I was trying to take Allie to those things, she would go into a trance, she would pass out, she would get very sick. Initially, we would just not go. We would change the plans until I started realizing what this was, that it was part of her programming. Anybody that shows them kindness, anybody that tries to do normal things, it clashes with programming. And I was seeing the results of that. So we got to the point where if we had decided to go to Disneyland for the day and she got sick, if she was passed out, I took her anyway. I would just rent a wheelchair and we went anyway. And the more times we did those types of things, it seemed to break the programming, or it seemed to stop whatever that was. But it took a while. It took a lot of repetitious times of doing the same things over and over. There were times when her skin would burn, like physically burn. She said it felt like a sunburn. If people tried to hug her, like if normal, good, kind-hearted people tried to hug her, if I tried to hug her, her skin would burn. Didn't realize we were clashing with programming. We were clashing with her programming. There's just so many layers of evil that has been done to the survivors. Over the years, I've been collecting information. I've been documenting. I've created a dossier, which is fairly extensive, on names of people, on information that I've seen in her flashbacks, on information that her alters have given me. What people don't know is that survivors have an internal system and they have an internal structure, and that the handlers, the programmers, document that by making a blueprint, like an actual legitimate huge blueprint. Each of the alters remember sections of the blueprint, but no one alter knows all the parts of that. Over the years, I've been collecting information from many of the alters, blueprint information, names, dates, how they sell the kids, things like that. It's a lot. A lot of people want to flatter me. A lot of people try to tell me that I'm a great mom. That's really not the case. I'm duty bound to fight for these kids. And what the world doesn't know is that they're duty bound too. Every single one of you is duty bound to stand for every survivor and every child. Not because you're a great human being, but because you are a human being. These are crimes against humanity. And it's on our watch. It's on our plate. We have to stand. We are all duty bound. If you are listening to this right now, an hour ago, you might not have known what was going on, but you know now. And now you either stand and fight for the kids, you either realize that you are duty bound too, or you become complicit. And that's just what it is. You can't just sit on the couch. This is evil like nobody's ever seen. The depths of it are mind-boggling. You have to decide where you stand. But you can't just look away.
The second time I seen him was at his home in Las Vegas, Nevada. Everybody thinks he faked his death. He's not dead. There was many things that happened, and he got set up for a little bit to still be able to live his life and still be in the public eye. He's still making music. He's still collabing with other artists to this day. But the second time that I seen him was at his home in Las Vegas. And there was another funeral. And then next time I seen him was during a time where somebody wasn't watching Little Tory. And there was a lot of things that were happening. Money exchanging hands, Social Security's being brought and sold, led to a fight, and it led to a man's body being mutilated. Nobody was watching Little Tory around that time. But what really happened? Who really seen it? I had to go to a very elite party in Hollywood, California. And guess who I met? It was really weird. At first, I thought I was tripping. But no. Around that time, Unthinkable with Alicia Keys came out. It was around the time that I seen him again. And he did a collab with Alicia Keys. And people thought that was just machines, and people have that power to just completely use that voice all over again. No. Sounded like he was right there, wasn't it? He is. And I'm sure now he won't be able to take this information getting out there, because when you fake your death, you really want to escape from the truth and all the secrets that you have. You escape from the fact that you may be a killer and a pedophile. You escape from the fact that when you sold your soul, you might have sold your child. He's not dead. A lot of people have been lying to you. You don't live in the world you think you do.
I mean, he hasn't been spotted with us. I mean, my thing is if that motherfucker, I mean, if he my man, so if he wanted people think that he's alive, then I'm going to help him with that kind of shit. I've never seen him dead. I didn't go to no funeral. We didn't parade his body around the streets like everybody else. Like, you know, I mean, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I really don't, you know, I don't pay no attention to that shit. You probably do be seeing him, but his plan is working to fucking perfection. Nobody's gonna believe that's him after all this time. Everybody is gonna be paying attention to whatever they're paying attention to. You can say I saw Tupac at Walmart, and everybody gonna be like, "Oh yeah, or it was a lookalike."
If you think about it, right?
Right.
Why you think nobody been arrested if they said they didn't want to kill Tupac?
Because they're snitching to the police, so they ain't gonna get
arrested. Not just to snitch and be smart, son. Because Tupac not
ain't
dead.
as smart as you should be.
Tupac not dead. If he was dead, they'd be arresting those dudes for murder. You know he's somewhere smoking a Cuban cigar on the island somewhere.
Right now.
His code name was Machiavelli, like mine is Simon. And if you know the story of Machiavelli, he faked his own death. But at the same time, you know, they wanted to put Pac back in prison. Pac would fake his own death and disappear before he go back to prison.
And what really happened in Las Vegas, Nevada, at the MGM Grand, was just another false flag that played out very, very well. And people bowed down and people really worshipped what happened because they thought that their idol was taken and it wasn't right. So of course, everybody really believes what happened at the MGM Grand happened. But what people don't know is that the MGM Grand is also well known for human trafficking, drug smuggling, organ harvesting, not to mention the other things that they get away with trafficking throughout the casino. Whether it comes for their own restaurants, whether it's something for their own casino. MGM Grand is one of the biggest casinos that are well known for the things that have happened. It's just everybody looks it over because it's Las Vegas. Nobody questions it. Nobody digs too deep into it. But that was the false flag. That was supposedly what happened, right? He was shot in the car in front of the MGM Grand. I always started digging and seeing where things led and who I really was and what was really going on, because things didn't make sense to me. Everybody kept my baby picture from me. Nobody wanted to show me my birth certificate. People kept things from me like it was a huge secret. People treated me different. And I have one baby picture. Just one that we found. They told me at St. Bernardine's Hospital in San Bernardino, California, that the reason why my father wasn't on the birth certificate was because there was shift change. And that the nurse had to sign for me because it was shift change. St. Bernardine's, when I went back a few years ago, I asked them for the paperwork, and the nurse started crying when she went back into the inventory and saw my last name. She came out and she was crying and shaking, and I was already saying she was so sorry, and she didn't even tell me what happened yet. And I'm like, why are you crying? What's really going on? And so I was like, maybe I don't want to know the truth. And I don't have any baby pictures of me. I don't know what I would look like as a kid. I can't have kids myself because of everything that has happened. And then the kid that is probably out there of mine is a long story. And I had no choice. And if I did have a choice, I'd be the best damn mom that I could be, but I don't have a choice. But we found one baby picture. Just one. And I think everybody has already seen it. So I'm asking and I'm trying to connect those dots. And I noticed that the outlaws are very strong. They're very strong in what they do. They're weak. Pussies. They're weak. They get away with thugging and taking people and calling shots and playing God all the time. And I was supposed to be that person. I was supposed to grow up and be that person, and everybody used to be scared of me for that reason, because I was one of those shot callers when I was really young. And the Outlaws are known for that. Tupac is an outlaw. Tupac is an outlaw. Tupac is Lassane is my blood. I don't know the absolute truth, the complete truth, but from the pieces that I put together, my
What if I took colors? What if I opened up? What if I took my mask off, trying to fit in? But I don't want to be in there. What if I took your What if I wasn't perfect? What if I was just a man? What if I had my soul and you know I could live? I'm so tired of pretending.